Love tenure. Oh my god, I'm only down to 397 minutes on this band. Was that 1,000?
Have you already registered for next year?
It's high 8. The thing about digital camcorders, I don't like you can only get 1 hour of digital tape. But now they're coming out with mini DVDs. Yeah, I just saw a Hitachi model advertised a couple months ago. So when that technology gets a little bit more cheap, I'll begin it. But that's something I thought would be great just to record on a DVD. Well, what's the difference between this? This is permanent too. Yeah, this is. Oh wait, no, what am I talking about? You can record that. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. If it's DVD-RW, it's DVD-RW to record. But the thing is, it's not a full DVD, which is 4.3 gigabytes. It's mini, which is I think they cut it down to like 2.1. Well, right now it's one side, but I wouldn't be surprised if eventually you'll have two-sided, and then a couple years down, and I bet you 2 years down the road they'll get the dual layer capability and almost double capacity. Yeah, but that's something I was thinking about like 2 years ago. I'm like, God, why don't they make the digital camcorder with DVD technology? I know DVD. We know DVD is like $3,000. Like, it's gonna happen. It's got to. And then just about a month ago I saw it. Mini DVD. I'm like, yeah, that's my next camcorder. When this one finally dies out. It's Chicago. It's by O'Hare Airport. This is the Rose. This is prime convention area in Chicago.
Is there enough room to get all around? Yes, there is.
From what?
Ready?
No, that's what they do. That's what I'm sure. And Carl, when we called, everybody told them to I don't know exactly where it is, but I doubt it's going to be the Rosemont Convention Center. The Rosemont Convention Center.
Just a quick announcement in case there is anybody that won any items in the charity auction and you have not yet queued up, please come up to the front table so that we can queue you up to pick up and pay for your items. Thank you.
They thought they said sit down and do a panel. They told us to do it later. Yeah, I thought we were supposed to go do it. Spike!
Hey! What's up? He said you're buying Brave now.
I'm buying a Brave now?
No, I'm saying he said you're buying Brave now. You're collecting Brave toys.
Oh, I was collecting Brave toys in '97.
I brought a Super Liner Daquan gift set with me.
A what gift set?
Super Liner Daquan. All 4 trains of it.
Okay. Do you happen to have Warren Bomber?
Huh?
Warren Bomber.
I need it myself.
I won't hear you from
Don't have to. I'll give it to you afterwards. I'll give it to you afterwards after the bed.
It's Wing Chi. Come on.
raise your hand.
Take you on. ECW. ECW. Rob Anthony. Glen Hallit is the whole effing convention. Yes! She's got a trainee. I'm like warning flash. Going How's the story, Glenn? Oh, man, I was not the same. Yes.
Jon Hartman.
Jon Hartman.
Welcome to the, oh yeah, BotCon organizers. Yes, organizers panel. Yeah, okay, so, so we had a show, thank you for coming. And see you next year. And see you next year, bye. Okay, well, this is how it usually goes, right? We say some things, you say some things, they're all nice things, and then we can start answering questions and such, and we can go back and forth and such. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we can talk about next year's show. If you have questions, that's called a hint. And, you know, if you have any comments about this year's show, or, you know, anything, really, just ask us anything, and
we're here for you.
For now, yeah. So, question
Right here, Don.
Wait, they have the microphones. Wait. Hold on, Don. Dude, you got it.
Here, I know. They know me, I never followed them.
I always get breakthroughs. We've been there for a lot.
Hey guys, first of all, I wanted to thank you even more than usual for putting on this kick-ass convention again, and obviously, like, everyone can see you guys put in like a lot of extra stuff we hadn't gotten before, and it's really cool, and bring a lot of cool options. It's really great. I just want to ask two questions about some of the scheduling of events, and this may be totally of no consequence, so please tell us. Why were there no fan panels this year? And also, in the future, will pre-registrants once again be able to get their toys like after the dinner or after some like earlier event, and not like having to line up in the middle of the day?
I thought you were prepping.
Oh no, I'm not prepping on that one, dude. I'm kidding.
Well, the reason for the fan panels is basically because we didn't feel that there was going to be enough time to fit that in with the amount of guests that we had and trying to get the autographs.
What do you? Oh.
Well,
You can't have fan panels without
Wait,
suggestions.
hang on. There was
the one that was canceled.
Yeah, there was one that we were planning to, so I had the MST showing this year, but I guess situations beyond our and their control caused it to not happen. As far as the toy pickup in the middle of the day, it was something that we tried to do to make it easier on us, really. Trying to,
Yeah, we got lazy. We're getting older and lazier. Isn't that cool? Don't you see it? No, you don't. Okay.
No. You still look the same as you did yesterday. No, we're just trying different things with the amount of people that are coming in. We're trying to do it a little different, hopefully maybe a little better, just to process the volume of people that we didn't think the methods that we used in the last couple of years would necessarily work as well.
Yeah.
That's really it.
I mean, you do it once a year, and you always want to try something that you think is going to be easier on either the staff or the attendees, and some things work and some things don't. And doing the pre-registration toy pickup in the middle of the day on Saturday was an attempt. Well, it's twofold. One is, and I'm going to answer this even before the question comes up. You know, we had an idea to do a limited edition animation cell from our Armada, from the first or second episode. And that was going to be the dinner exclusive, a nice little framed print, similar to the posters and stuff that we did earlier. The problem with that is, as soon as Cartoon Network picked up the show, there were some licensing and legal issues where we couldn't do that. But by the time we knew about that, it was about April or May. That's kind of quick to turn around and turn on a dime. So Hasbro said that they would bring the episode anyway. They were trying, the English dub was done that the night before. They FedExed it out for Friday, morning. And then what we did was we got a Minicon and SuperCon. Now, also, by the time we looked at the shipment schedules from Hasbro's warehouses, the Armada toys shouldn't have hit until either this weekend or next weekend. So at that point, if no one had it and they got two Armada toys that they've been waiting for forever, it would have been a cool thing to match with the episode they saw. Unfortunately, it came out before, and it was kind of redundant. That's the way things go. It didn't work and such, but it's better than just doing nothing, which I hate doing. Is that a good answer for the dinner thing? Because we had a lot of comments on the dinner exclusives.
What about picking up toys after the dinner?
Good question.
Is he an answer?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that. There's just a lot of time involved, and from what we've used from previous years and such, it just takes a long time. There's a lot of burnout coming into play here. The bigger and bigger this event gets, and the more people we got to deal with. Unfortunately, part of that is there's a lot of issues that came up this year, yet again, dealing with the convention behind the scenes, dealing with toys and packing and all this other stuff, that there's a legitimate burnout factor. So basically the comment and the call was to try to put it on Saturday after you break it down, because most people, you've got your toy, you bought your toy, you have plenty of time to pick up your toy, let the people buy the toy that they want to do extra and wise, and yeah, it's not good. Did it work? No, not really, so it won't happen again. But it's something that we tried to give everyone a break. And that's kind of, is that a good answer? I don't know if it's good or not, but it is the answer.
I just like to say that I liked the way you did the scheduling for the autographs, generally. I like the general idea of having the different colored cards coming in at different times. The blue and yellow colors came in really lucky. The greens, we had one problem with things being on at the same time. The reds, however, they had to choose between going to a couple panels or getting autographs, and they were both at the same time for them. It'd be nice if it was spread out a little bit more as for who got, maybe for each grouping gets scheduled during one thing, and then they could come and choose which they wanted to do a little bit better. But overall, I really like the setup, and I think it really sped things up a lot.
Yay!
comment for that, of course, because I'm always going to have a comment on these things.
He can't not comment. I've noticed that over the years.
The color thing that we did, there are a bunch of issues that you might not be thinking about when you're doing that. Unfortunately, red was, I'm not going to say screwed, but red had the short end of the stick. However, if you try to rotate all 4 sets of numbers, at one point we had actually 5 sets of numbers, but we went from 1 to 350 and so on and so forth. If you try to rotate all 4 sets of numbers and keep it so the voice actors and the guys can eat, and you try to match it so that it's not interfering with anything, it's impossible. It's a multi-constrained system. You can't get out of it. So what happens? You do the best you can, and you try. I mean, that was the best scenario. It could have been red, it could have been blue, it could have been whatever color. It just happened to be red. The thing I would like to comment on is we see tons of lines every year with people not being able to get autographs. In fact, when you look at Wizard World, Comic-Con, or something like that, most of the people don't get autographs because you see 100 people and that's it for the weekend until the next day. We're trying to do the best we can so that everyone gets an autograph, which is not seen that often. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Hey guys.
Hi.
I'm going to actually usurp some of Don's gimmick here, and when are we going to get a Big Daddy exclusive?
No,
That's our secret, Glenn.
Sorry. Next year. No Big Daddy exclusive next year. If I see that on the internet, I'll kill you.
You guys do a very great job in your 3 years. Love it every time you come here. The one thing I noticed that you do, which usually falls flat, is when you try to organize any like games or activities. It seems like people don't know what time it's going to go on at all, or they can't even find it. I would either say do something like a game panel, which is at a set time, everyone come in, they can play the game, or just cancel them all together, since it seems like the ways. Comments?
Okay, so what happens is the game stuff is done last because we have other things to worry about that we think are more important. Toy exclusives, guests, a lot of scheduling, trying to do multiple events because the game shows in and of themselves are limited in scope. Not everyone can play. That's the unfortunate part, okay? What happens is we usually try to push those off until the last, probably the last month, I would say, which is probably the most horrible time to be doing anything regarding any sort of new and creative stuff, in case you want to know about that. Because you got the 4th of July weekend coming in, you got toys that haven't shown up until 2 days before the event. Oh, did they say that? Yes, they did come in 2 days before the event this year. We packed 1,500 toys in 6 hours. This is really hard. One reason why it wasn't as bad as last year is because Cyclonus was already boxed. But the problem is, when things like that happen, it shoves everything else out of the way, unfortunately. And we had a lot of good plans for a lot of different contests. We just have to try it again next year. I mean, we really like the contests. The contests are cool, but again, sometimes there's staff limitation issues. We might be opening up a volunteer policy next year, which we'll have to develop and think about, because we just don't want 1 billion people coming in to volunteer. However, there are some staffing issues with it. There's some familiarity issues with it. And, we'll try next year. Although, a scavenger hunt in Chicago would be pretty funny.
Well, you have to come back.
Hey, I just want to say that you guys have done a great job this year as always. All the panels were a ton of fun. The Hasbro panel especially I thought was just great. Like everyone knew their stuff. They had everything set up in advance. I really would like to see that G1 Megatron in blue and orange. And basically, if it wasn't obvious before that Hasbro loves us, it's blindingly obvious now. Now that being said, I've got 2 questions. Number 1, what happened with Primal Dawn? And number 2, the BotCon comic. I do like how you made Cryotech such a key player in it. Like, it's pretty obvious where Megatron learned how to be brilliant, but what was up with the mass slaughter? Like, you basically killed off half your cast in, I gotta say, in pretty meaningless ways. Like, you killed the mutants, the Dinobots, and a good chunk of the other wreckers.
Okay.
Well, let me answer the first one first. Primeval Dawn, just in case, I know we had gotten a couple of questions about this over the weekend. It is still there. We just didn't have time to get it uploaded on the website. It is a web-only story now. And it also needs the approval coming back from Hasbro, too.
It's done. It's been in Hasbro's hand for about a month, but you know they were doing BotCon stuff instead of the Primeval Dawn stuff, and they needed to do the show critical stuff first.
Yeah, so
approvals are slow.
It should be coming next month.
Oh, definitely.
It'll definitely be coming next month.
Definitely. Yeah, we're sorry for the delay on that.
We like Simon Furman, and he always kills off a lot of people, so we just figured we'd do it too.
Or basically one of the comments and criticisms that people had of last year's book, and not to say that this year's book was any reaction to what people had as far as commentations and such, but there are a lot of characters. A lot of people said there are a lot of characters in the Records book, and they had no characterization and lots of fluff and no stuff and lots of setup and no setting of a story. Well, we trimmed so we can actually start developing characterizations of the characters that were majorly important to the rest of this story, and the beginning of the second story arc, which should start sometime next summer. Okay? Mutants and Dinobots, there was a plan for them. The plan just kind of didn't really work out as far as the rest of the story, so they died. They had to go. Spending 3 pages on them was too much because that 40-page book needed to be a couple more pages yet longer. But now what you have is you have a tighter story, you have more character development, and everyone's not going to like what's going on, but the story's going to become better for it. So that's what we do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure how many do we have? You think there are that many people? Okay. What we're going to be doing, for all those people who came to this panel, we're going to be passing out another one of the limited prints that was going to be included in the Genesis art book. This is a rendered version of Primal Prime going head-to-head with Cryotech.
It's a scene from book 4 next year. We'd like to thank Sebastian Clavette from 88 Miles Per Hour Studios for providing these prints for us. He did a bang-up job.
Well, we're going to pass these out. I mean, hopefully we have enough.
Yeah, Don's going to pass them out.
Hopefully we have enough for everybody in the room.
So sit in your seat, and we'll try to get. We should have enough, but if we don't, we apologize. Probably for the people in the back. Which, I'm really sorry about that, but, okay, maybe get a photocopy or something from someone. Again, we meant to make more of them, but again, we needed to do something with them. So,
go ahead.
Okay. This is my second year coming. I gotta say, I had a great time. The panels were great. I learned a lot. I was one of those who was one of the ones who pre-ordered the Unicron statue. Now, I understand there are issues with it not showing up, and there'll be arrangements to get them shipped. Are we going to have to pay shipping for them?
Yes.
Okay. I realized that was something out of our control, or out of your control. Do we, is there any way to get around that because, we had, arranged to have them, to be picking them up here?
Right. Well, first of all, I know we've done it before, and we'll continue to. We do apologize for all of it happening. We did fully intend to have them here to be picked up, so you would save on the shipping.
But you would have paid tax on it.
Yeah, it would have been sales
If you did pick it up
tax.
here, you would have paid 5%. So you would have paid $7.50.
But, honestly, the development of them not showing up happened so close to the convention that we haven't had time to think about any of the arrangements that we're going to have for shipping for people who would have come to the convention to pick them up. Honestly, the best thing I can do is tell you to just watch the website, because we'll put up more details as we go. And if we are able to arrange something where pay as much, I can't guarantee that that'll happen, but it'll go up on there primarily. Anything else you want to add?
No, just no. We're sorry. Basically, we'll contact everyone who pre-ordered a statue to verify their shipping address. and tell you how we're going to take care of the shipping at that time. So we have everyone's contact information for every statute order, so we'll figure it out. So if you moved or something, we'll correct it.
Yeah, the first 500 statues will still get the glyph toy, and those will be shipping separately from the statues.
At no cost.
Right.
So, I mean, that, you know.
So that's not been an issue at all.
Hi, I've got 2 questions. First off being, are we ever going to see the return of the 24-hour video rooms? And the second being, when do we find out who was the winner of the art show?
The art show will be, the winners of the art show will be revealed at the end of this panel. And
What was the other question?
24-hour video room.
Oh, right.
It just depends on staffing, that's the big concern, and location. If we have video, I guess not 3 video rooms, but just the 1 video room. It just depends on staffing, who we can have change the videos at 2 in the morning or 4 in the morning or whatever it is.
Again, volunteers are going to get called for next year at 3 in the morning. Oh, jeez, I'm sorry.
You forget, I'm probably in there watching it anyway.
Off the tattoo. Don.
Hi. Everybody knows me, I'm not going to pretend y'all don't. Glenn, I want to thank you personally for that Headmaster Varsity reference. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. And the comment. This is my 8th out of 9 years, and I got to black 2 years ago, last year. I really appreciate it. I know every year there's fine-tuning going on. Next year as well. I'm just wondering, what can you tell us this year about what other options there were other than Cyclonus and CAT scan that won't ruin it for next year? And also, if you can give us any more information other than what we could have gleaned off the back of the program for the exclusive with the hotel. Just, you know, whatever you can tell without saying, just wait things there.
You guys a little bit.
Thank you last year for it. Thank you for last year. You came here last year.
Yeah.
Thanks. The hotel exclusive for next year is...
whose are these?
Charity auctions.
How many? Yes, they got it. How many you didn't get?
It's going to be good. No, well, the way that we're going to work it...
6.
Stop.
They're paying for the charity.
Hold on a minute.
You typed it
Those
up.
in your, oh, I did.
Still at least 3 short.
Men in Black toy?
Pass 6 down.
No, it is Chicago.
That's right, Mint Box. Mint Box.
I thought he wasn't allowed in the building.
No.
All it knows there's enough Onyx Primals left.
He's going to redeco Onyx Primal.
No, it's an experiment. We're going to try it, see how well it works. Basically, when you reserve your room at the hotel listed on the back of your program guide, you will get a toy for the room. Not for each person that's in the room, but for the room for both Friday and Saturday night. So it'll be the same toy for each night. So there'll be 2 of the same toy if you stay both nights. If there's 2 people in the room, you each get one for each night.
If you octuple up, you're screwed. Or at least all but one. Well, let's talk a little bit about philosophy. Okay, we've been trying to put BotCon into a major market city, and the show is growing, but not at a pace to actually match a major market city, larger airports, etc., etc. It is almost impossible financially to either pass the cost along to the attendees or for us to just eat our bank accounts time and time again to actually put it in a major city so that there's more things to do in the city or make more of a family vacation out of something. In order to do the Hyatt Regency O'Hare, well, we tried to do the convention center and it's way too cost prohibitive. In order to do the Hyatt Regency O'Hare, we were playing around with certain minimum rooms that we have to book to actually get a reduced amount for rental space. The way we played with this is to do the exclusive offering. talked with Hasbro, they okayed it. It was a pretty cool idea because they're excited about going and having BotCon in Chicago. So how do you play that? Well, you want to do the maximum amount of rooms without screwing anyone. So what you do is you're hoping for 2 people per room at a max, so that one person get it Friday and the second person get it Saturday. If you really want the toy to gut it and play with it, then you just book your own room. $131 for a room, plus probably $40 for pre-registration, which gives you basically 2 free toys, a whole bunch of other free stuff that we're probably going to get, and then admission for the show. That's a pretty good deal. You have to, again, it's like you need a room for the con. Why not get a free toy while you're at it? Everyone always wants to know, how do we help you guys? We can help us by booking the room. And that's the thing, book the room. Make it a success. If it's not a success, you know, financially we're screwed, and then next year or the year after we'll have it in I was going to say in your backyard, but that's don't say the A word. I know, right? No A word. You know. Apartment. As far as Cyclones and CAT scan, we wanted to get some Beast Machines molds. Other options, we can have any option. I mean, right? Alpha Trion, we could have done Fractal.
What would he be in? Would he be in a Leo Convoy or Snarl?
Oh, it would have been a Snarl. Yeah, see, I didn't do it for Snarl. We did Jetstorm, you know, it's a good toy. And then CAT scan, because that was a pretty cool mold. Okay, CAT scan was supposed to stand for like...
It's an acronym.
It's supposed to stand for like Computer Simulated Corporeal Autonomous Neo-Maxima. That's what it was originally supposed to mean, but then with all the periods in there, it's getting stupid looking, so CAT scan. What? Yeah, okay, the lowercase a and t people, okay? Work with me on this.
Okay, I've got a comment, a question, and a suggestion. The first comment is, after going to the G.I. Joe convention this year, I want to thank you guys for keeping your exclusive toys at a reasonable rate.
Thank you.
And second, this year's date changed, and so as far as next year goes, am I safe to go ahead and get a plane ticket for that time period?
See previous comment of needing to book lots of rooms on that weekend. If we changed it, we're screwed. That's a lot of money, man.
And my one suggestion is just a guest suggestion. I'd love to meet Nelson Shin, if you could ever get him here.
Who is he then?
Okay, first I've got a comment.
Stand up. You have to stand up in front of everybody, just like us.
I don't know about everybody else, but I love the flip cards that you used on the CAT scan.
Oh, thanks, Lindsay.
And I'd love to see, and I'd love to see those used again. And second of all, I'd like to know what was going to be the prize for the scavenger hunt.
It was, actually,
a lot of the stuff that we
raffled off. It's basically, it was going to be 2 of everything, like 2 Ars Crucis with the Unicron statue, 2 of every Armada stuff for like wave 1 and 2. We were going to do probably a couple hundred, you know, couple monetary checks.
All BotCon stuff.
All the BotCon stuff.
What about Gas Skunk?
We didn't have anything to do with it.
Gas Skunk and Oh, I give you gas.
Did everyone get a print, by the way? Did anyone not get a print?
I didn't, but
You didn't? We have extras.
Yeah, raise your hand and we'll give it to you, and then we'll call on you. Then we'll just give it. Oh, wait, yeah.
Wave your hand if you didn't get a print.
Wave your hands in the air.
Wave them like you just don't care. No extras, hey, no extras. Don't do that, guys. It's not right.
Yes.
Yes, I have a couple of questions about this year's BotCon and also about next year's, about the hotel. We usually come in on Wednesday night, and we leave about Monday morning. And when we call the hotel on Friday evening, about 5 o'clock, they told us that the rooms on Thursday and Sunday were booked.
Which number did you dial?
We dialed the one on the back of the booklet.
There's a toll-free number and then there's a
Yes.
regular number. Did you
Yes,
dial
we
the toll-free
did.
number?
Yes, we dialed that one.
They're stupid.
There's obviously a discrepancy. We have to call them up and figure out.
FYI, the 847 number gave me the same story earlier today.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'm still saying that I highly doubt that all those rooms that I reserved have been booked in 2 hours. If you guys, it's over 600.
Don't doubt it. Don't doubt
They
it.
say 600 hotel rooms on eBay, bid now.
My comment to everyone would then be, if that was the case, why does it take you so long to book your rooms? This year and the previous years.
We're lazy.
Aha!
Or why does it take you so long to register?
Yeah, that too.
We're
busy and
600 registrations in a week is not
Two of those big post office mailbox, those little white crates that you carry around in full of registrations on that Monday after the deadline.
Oh, that's cool too. Yeah, good comment. Deadlines, read them.
My other question is this. For this year's dinner, I mean, we always expect something really great, exclusive that we can take home. The posters last year, I mean, at least they were exclusive. I'm not a big poster person, but I thought, they're exclusive to the dinner, no one else can get them. So it's, it's a pretty good deal. But this year we got toys that we can get anywhere.
Did you hear the comment? Did you just come in?
No.
We actually
talked about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I left for 5 minutes ago.
We were going to have an animation cell print.
Yes.
Cartoon Network had a problem with it, obviously for licensing issues.
Yeah.
According to Hasbro reports, Armada toys weren't going to hit in time, but they did. So we were going to do a print. Cartoon Network said no in May, so we had to do something else. Hasbro says, okay, we'll do this for you. We say, cool. When is it going to hit the stores? Probably August. July is not August. We'll do that. We commit to it. Armada hits the stores a week before the show. We're hosed. Unfortunately, it's. I mean, you got to see the first episode. I mean, that's got to be worth something. We had 2,100 people here. The other 1,800 people didn't see some that you saw. Yeah, it'll come on August 23rd, but we do what we can.
It was worth $60.
Well,
let me
I planned the world's tiniest violin for you.
One of the other options that we tried after we found out the cell was not going to come, we tried to get, well, it was the idea with the grab bag. We had the idea of the grab bag in mind for a while. It's just what went into the grab bag. One thing that we tried to get was Stormjet. Get enough of them just for everybody, but Takara wouldn't break them out of the assortment. They wouldn't produce them separately. Another thing we tried to do was get the Heroes of Cybertron, the little PVC figures for everybody, because we knew that they were going to be limited. Hasbro was out of them. They only shipped us like, what was it, five cases?
Yeah, 60 pieces.
So we had to revise that, and that's why everybody, just certain people at the tables got them. So we were scrambling for options, and what ended up happening was pretty much all that we could get. We know it wasn't as good as it has been in previous years, but that's about all we were left with, honestly. Who's got the mic? Right there. Yes.
On the scavenger hunt, exactly how are you going to have that work? Like, what are we going to look for, and what is the size of next year's free exclusive?
Have you seen The Amazing Race on CBS? We would have sent you to Alaska. We would have sent you around town with clues dictating location to location to get more clues. You would have had to answer a ton of trivia questions to actually spell out the clue, which directs you to another one, and it would have looped you all over the city.
Eventually you would have come back to the hotel.
Gee, we'll go next year. Oh, okay.
Yes.
We're going to move you back to the hotel next year. You're coming to Fort Wayne. 2.5-hour drive.
Bunny, it better be the prize.
The size of the exclusive is bigger than a mouse, smaller than a house. It's going to be bigger than a basic,
It's more than a Supreme.
And if you look on the thing, you'll actually be able to dictate. You'll actually be able to tell who it's going to be. So you just got to read a little bit.
And that's all we're saying.
That's all I'm going to say about it. It's going to be mint box. It's not going to be keychain. It's not going to be. It's not going to be a
lollipop.
No,
it's not going to be an import. It's going to be a brand new redeco, maybe remolded.
Lake Michigan.
Next question.
And it won't be super cheaper.
Who's got the mic? Back there.
I was wondering if you guys could shed any light on next year's comic concerning with the deal with the Wreckers. If we're going to expect any new members to replace Cyclonus.
Okay, well, I can answer that question without giving spoilers. Part 3 will be shown during the course of the year, similar to what we did in '99 with all these text block stories that you get kind of in the mail. Part 3 will be shown in the year on the website in on paper. Part 4 is going to happen next summer. You'll get new members, you'll remove some members, and lots of chaos will ensue.
Many chaos.
Oh, in space. It's going to occur in space too. Space. The final frontier. Other than that, it's kind of tough because if people haven't read the book, that's a good question. That's a really good question. It's kind of. Yeah.
We're gonna kill off Cryotech.
Yeah, right.
He's invincible. You can't kill him.
Cryotech will eat your convention.
Well, you see how big he is on the back of the book?
Chicago.
Oh, yeah. And he can actually do that, too. Who's got? Yeah, right here.
BotCon is like my Christmas and birthday party combined. So I'm already waiting for next year. I've already reserved my hotel rooms. When can I register for next year's BotCon?
What time is it?
End of October, beginning of November.
How's late June sound?
It'll be sooner than normal. Because normally we put it up like the end of November.
Yeah. There's going to be some modifications to that of following. For the exclusives, for some other things, we're going to be doing some cool above the norm type of items concerning the exclusives, concerning some other things. But we have to get some price quotes back, and depending on the price quotes, that'll dictate some of the pricing that we're going to be able to set. So we can't.
I was going to ask if you could be more vague.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the fall.
That'll work. That's good. Who's got the mic? Okay, right there.
This BotCon, I really enjoyed the Beast Wars postcards.
Thank you.
And one of the things that bothered me about Armada was the lack of tech specs. And I know you guys aren't responsible for Hasbro's decision about packaging, but I was wondering if you had considered giving the Armada tech specs as an exclusive for next year.
Well, they are on the Transformers.com website. I don't know if they're really printable at all. Maybe just they're not without feet.
I would say we could do it for 10 minutes, some people would be mad because it's worth the price. I can see that because she left the room.
Hi guys.
Hello.
This is my sixth BotCon. You guys, yeah. You guys are like my three heroes. So thank you for everything so far. I had two questions. One was about fan panels. Like, who do we contact about like hosting? Okay, John. And
I'm just volunteering you. That's okay. Fan panel stuff should go to the info@BotCon.com. What you need to do is have a proposal, how many people are going to staff it, what equipment you need, how long it's going to take. We need details. One of the big major flaws that people have with fan panels is they kind of wait until a month and a half, 2 months. Besides the MST3K, those guys are up front for the most part. Everyone else, though, is kind of like, well, I want to do this. We're like, cool, you should do that. We'll schedule it for you. But then we don't hear from them. We say we need an equipment list because equipment isn't free. They don't send it in. We kind of hang out a week before, which is a week before the show, which is probably a week after this is printed. Hey, I got this list. Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, we're already hosed.
And guest appearance suggestions, I'd really like to see Neil Ross. So.
We tried for him, and he declined for this year.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, he's a mean guy. I don't know. No, we tried.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
All right. Well, comment, I guess, maybe a couple of suggestions. I guess I'd like to remind you guys for future years that not everybody is a Beast Wars fan. Not everybody likes Beast anything. Not everybody likes the recent stuff. There are G1 fans, and there needs to be a balance. Something for everyone, and I want to say that you guys did much better this year with that than last year. So I want to commend you guys. Also encourage that there be more fan activity on the fan panels. And if you guys need somebody to change the DVDs, the G1 DVDs at 3 o'clock in the morning next year, I'm there.
Thank you. That's a good comment. By next year, probably all 3 seasons will be out, so that's a very good comment.
Yeah.
Hi guys, how you doing? I've been to every BotCon except the first one, and every year is a blast. Thanks as always. I attended the Star Wars Celebration this year, and that was a lot of fun, but it was a bit overwhelming, and it made me appreciate BotCon a lot more. I want you guys to know this is still a lot of fun.
It's the premier convention in the world!
My question is, are we any closer to getting an exclusive toy that's actually an exclusive mold, not just a recolor?
An entirely original mold, like it's never been released to retail or anything even close. Pardon?
Like Deluxe Obsidian.
Unreleased Spy Changer.
Tooling doesn't exist for Deluxe Obsidian. Tried it. No new molds. Might see some retooling.
Retooling is not the best that we can hope for.
No whispering.
Yes, exactly, right. Yeah, you'll get redecos, right? Yes, retooled redecos. And then your expectations are really low, and then they come in, we're gonna be like,
Okay, I was lucky enough to actually eat the BotCon lollipop. You know, a lot of people are saving it because it's...
You actually ate it? That thing's like 8 inches thick! Your teeth, man!
Well, I licked it. It was really good.
Was it great? Was it great?
It was great. But what we were trying to figure out is what flavor it was. At first we were like, it's citrus, but then we're like, no, it's totally berry, and then we're off on this berry. So we're just, do you guys know what flavor it was?
Yes, it was supposed to be a mystery meat flavor. It was kind of stuck in the garage for a long period of time when we got to it.
Or it was Optimus Prime flavor.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be white grape.
Yeah, well, it was good, and I hope we have, maybe next year we can have like BotCon beef jerky or something.
I'll tell you what, we'll get a BotCon taco, stick it in your pre-reg box.
Beef Wars!
Actually, I want to thank Rhino Home Video for supplying those with us. That was very nice of them.
ask one question, which you might have answered really early on, but out there. And one other question. The first is, do you have any plans to do any stuff in the future on Saturday nights? Because for many of us in Fort Wayne, without a car, there's not much to do. And my other... Drink with Wankas! I'll know for next time. My other question is, the last one I was at was, I think, 98 in Anaheim, and I think at the time you guys were not officially affiliated with Hasbro. I wanted to know if anything had changed in the interim and how you guys go about setting up a show and what it means.
Well, the Saturday night thing, the scavenger hunt had actually been about the best thing that we had planned for that. And when that got reduced and then eventually eliminated, that left you to do, hang out in the lobby, talk to people.
Yeah, and don't get angry about it. We met some people last night that were really angry.
Yeah!
Mr. Wankus.
You don't like Mr. Wankus, just Wankus.
Okay.
Trust me, we're on the first meeting.
There's just some angry people about doing that. No, not with Wankus. No, just having an event.
I don't know. It's the expectation. See, that's the danger when you raise the expectations. People's expectations.
I'll be your king.
Can you dance, son?
We're gonna have ballroom dancing next set. And that's why we're not dancing.
I'm reminded that our Arsenio Hall show
Oh, the other one. A license was issued, finally, after many, many moons of trying. Got a license. Licensing basically enables you to predict what's going to happen. It's a 3-year license at a minimum. It's expandable as long as they're not ticked off, which, who are we going to take off except for...
Give us some time.
So that's why we were able to show Chicago so early, because it was, we can predict it, we can dictate it, we can go forward, we can count on things, instead of trying to jam all the planning in a month. So, a lot of BotCon 2003 is actually planned. And if you go to our website, we'll just put all our... I'm lying, I'm not, no, we're not gonna, no, a lot of it's planned, but we'll release little bits and pieces as we go through. Roll away.
Hey guys, just kind of a serious question, I guess, instead of the funny stuff. For people who pre-registered for the dinner but were put on the waiting list, didn't make it in, are you refunding those or going to keep it for future BotCon?
If you paid by check or money order, the refunds would have already been sent back.
Yes, I sent the refunds.
But if you paid by credit card, we did not charge you.
Okay, thanks.
So you can just go back and double check.
Yeah, I was just thinking privately or something.
Oh dear!
It's all right.
Too bad you sold the bunny.
This is my first BotCon, and I'm here with my son. It's his first BotCon.
How old is your son?
12.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I appreciate all the efforts that will go into this because I know what kind of legal issues you can run into trying to please everybody. But everything was great. We really enjoyed it. I think it was organized really well. And from what I can say with the tags, I think it's a great idea. I had heard you hadn't done this before. I like that idea, and maybe that can be part of the toy pickup too.
Right. Well, we actually tried that, but again, it comes down to a personnel issue. A lot of the staff are actually coming out of jobs and stuff on Friday. We want to open it up on noon. They're not going to come in until 6. That's a great idea. We actually had planned, if we had, again, the volunteers or whatever, if we're going to look at it again, we would have done it, but yes, thank you. It's a good question.
Great. Thanks. Had a lot of fun.
Thanks. Thank you for coming. Hope to see you next year.
I don't mean to come back to the dinner thing all the time, but I mean, since last year you mailed out the posters, the corrected posters to the dinner attendants, I was wondering maybe if you can mail out, like, if you can't get the sales, maybe they're made out text specs like you were saying, mailed out to the dinner attendants.
Gotta get it approved through Hasbro. They're probably not gonna like it, but if they did say yes, we'd have to set up the time to do the print the print, cut the print, mail the print. You won't see it until October, November. You're going to have bleed over between the two convention years. We're trying to close the books after 2002, reopen 2003. There's crossover, and it funnels it all over. It's a good idea, it's a good suggestion, but probably not practical. That's assuming if Hasbro says yes, which is I wouldn't put it past them to say no. That's a good comment.
I was just wondering if you could summarize for everybody what exactly the license you have with Hasbro now will entail and what you have planned for the future with it.
How many pages is that license?
45-page license. Okay, let me try to say this. There are actually multiple licenses. The one license for the convention basically gives permission for us at the show and on the website for whatever quantities we submit to do any number of items. And we list these items. They're like a list of 50 items that we came up with and threw at Hasbro. Some of them we had done, some of them are coming up, and some of them are existing licensees. That gives us all sorts of leeway all over the place. It basically says we'll allow you to sell toy exclusives, program guides, prints, CDs, whatever we want. If there's something we want to do that's not on the list, we can get an addendum to it. That's the easy answer. The tough answer is there's a lot of legal jargon talking about the channels that we're allowed to sell and so on and so forth, which really doesn't concern anyone because they're going to buy it here anyway or pre-register for it. The second license, which I'm surprised no one's even brought up or even actually shown some emotion on, but maybe most of you haven't heard it. There's a fan club license that's been awarded. There's going to be a new fan club for Transformers over the next few months. We're going to start it up. God, that's going to be the on-pack CD mini single.
Don't worry, next year they'll think of something different.
Just wait for the next sound chip toy.
Can you give any info on what's going to come in the fan club? What do you have planned for that?
Where are you?
Where's that question?
Where are you? Stand up.
We must see you.
Stand up. Oh, there you are.
Okay.
Actually, details are being hashed out at the moment. It's going to be a periodical magazine. Really can't get into too much of what's going on because they're hopes, they're dreams, but ultimately what it comes down to is what Hasbro's going to let us do. They have to make sure that whatever happens in the fan club does not contradict or conflict with the website. And the answer is, so as a result, the simple answer is we don't know yet.
Is there any time frame for when it's going to start?
Well, it should be like 2 or 3 months. I've been trying to personally hack at it for about 5 or 6 years, so I'm surprised I actually said yes this time. Probably 2 or 3 months though. There's going to be a lot of meetings and such going on between the two parties to see what's going on.
So we need all robot points now, right?
That's one of the options that we're playing. But, again, dream, reality.
What a cardboard base.
Dream? If you do a cardboard base, it might be at the expense of an annual toy exclusive that's separate from BotCon. So, do you want a cardboard base or you want a fresh toy?
Well, it's a really nice cardboard base.
I don't want them. What are we going to do with that? Really? I want a paper mache my wall?
Yes.
Oh,
We want digital doom on the highway to destruction.
Next question.
The entire Autobots against just Megatron and Thundercracker.
First of all, I want to say this is my 4th BotCon. They've all been very good. We've only had one out on the West Coast though. I know it's a higher expense for you guys, but do you guys have any definite plans to do something further west, like towards the West Coast? Like Washington, Oregon, California?
It won't be next year.
There's a possibility.
Hollywood.
Look, West Coast, come on, it's California, guys. It's a good state to visit. It's not going to kill you.
Say that now.
to two conventions this year, BotCon, and then I went to a Star Trek convention. I'd like to say that you do a whole lot more for the fans here at this convention than they ever did at that convention.
Thank you.
I have one suggestion though. This microphone thing, you have to hold your hand up for forever. What they did at the Star Trek convention is they formed two lines with microphones on either side of the stage, and if you wanted to ask a question, you got in line, and once you used the microphone, it was your turn. You'd have to wait for somebody to come around and answer the mic and hold your hand.
We did that before, but there's really no comedy value out of that. But we did it actually the first 2 years. I thought 97 to 98, we did the same thing, and we just decided we thought this worked better. It was,
More heckle value.
Yeah, that's exactly why we did it.
Hi guys, I'm the one with the problem poster, and I wanted to personally thank you for holding the thing for me so I could pick it up here.
Oh, you're welcome.
I know it was really hard for you guys. You're planning the best convention in the universe, Thank you. And the glyph toy, thank you. My bumblebee finally has a date. Thank you so much.
Don't ask, don't
Hi guys. My name's CJ. I'm from Toronto. I just want to thank you. This was a wonderful convention, so thank you so much, and thanks for doing it every year. My question was, are we going to see some of the bigger G1 toys re-released as exclusives, like Deco? I love the Cliff Jumper, to the Tap Out, love Glitch. I think I can...
Cliff! That's a good name, Cliff, not Glitch.
Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Okay, good.
Good cover. Adding to the comedic value.
Yes, always. You gotta do it. That's a good question. If we do one of the bigger ones, it's going to have to be at the expense of a normal convention exclusive. If there doesn't make much sense to do it, it won't be done.
Because I just think there's a lot of interest in the G1 foundation for the Transformers. To see that as an exclusive, for me, would be just fantastic.
One of the things about that, though, is that Takara does that already. They kind of redeco stuff. They're not... it's a good idea, but, again, yeah, it's black and clear, red and fire guns, and blasting butt, and all this other stuff. If Takara didn't do it, it would be more attractive as an option. That's the politically correct answer.
Orange and blue Megatron.
Dude, that thing looked so ugly. I actually had it in my hands. It was ugly. You don't want it. You would have had it, you would have been like...
Hey guys, two things. First, the corrected print from last year's dinner. We've been told it came out of your pockets. It wasn't necessary, but it sure was appreciated. Thank you very much.
Community comment would be, you should have said that in the beginning when that meeting was.
The second thing, kind of a silly, kind of a hypocritical question, but is there going to be any way to get hold of the BotCon UK exclusives short of flying to the UK?
You eBay your wallet.
There are 5 exclusives. Some of them may, some of them may not. Depends.
Okay, thank you.
Not 5 exclusive toys, just 5
Yeah,
exclusive.
5 exclusives, product, merchandise. And they're going to be different from these. They're going to be unique merchandise pieces, so that's good.
There's a microphone.
Microphone.
There's
oh, man.
Hey guys, I know you can't get rid of me.
They don't want you give them money.
Seriously though, 2 years ago you guys did something really cool for some of us who just will not go away. Or am I thinking 1 year ago? No, 2.
It was 2.
2. Anyway, honestly, my biggest concern is the hotel room. I know you have the urge to encourage us to get a hotel room. Dandy. You want us to register early. Good. My big fear is you're going to run out of rooms. how big, can you give us an idea of scope of how big this hotel room is? I mean,
I thought that there were 2,000 rooms in it.
you think that's gonna hold all of us?
If you do 2 per room, that's 4,000 people pre-registered. We don't have numbers to support that. We're going to get
I
any more.
understand this, I'm not saying
Yes.
this.
No, that's a good question. That's a very good question. I mean, we've got 1,400 pre-registrants.
And
That's
then you'll
700
have
rooms. If
people
you don't
motivated to get more than 2 toys, you know, you actually run the risk of having, you know, people with deep pockets going, well, let's see, we need 1 room per person so we can all have enough toys for 2 or 3 days, and that could turn ugly there too. I mean, this is just, well, it's presenting you with a risk you might have to face.
Well, no, we're gonna face it. Make no doubt. There are 5 or 6 other hotels. The experience that we've had is every time we establish an official hotel, not everyone stays at it because they don't care about the toys or they want to go cheap, cheap, cheap. You can still do that if you want.
Well, in my case, it was just, there was nowhere to go.
Right. But in this case, though, in that area, there are 5 hotels that have a minimum of 1,000 rooms apiece. That's 5,000 rooms. I'll be dipped in wax and called a candle if we have that many pre-registrants. Come out
Phil, I want you to get this on tape in case we actually run out.
Can I see that? Can I see that happen?
Yeah.
That's the exclusive next year.
I don't want to see me as a candle.
Of course, it'll be transparent wax, so you look like the Optimus Prime lollipop.
It tastes like chrome.
Hello. I was very happy actually getting my dinner exclusives. It's like those are 2 Armada toys I don't have to go out and buy now, and I really appreciate that. So I thought you did a great job.
Thank you.
I have to say, I mean, I went through a number of things this weekend, losing my luggage and having 5 million things like that. But having BotCon itself was so good that it totally made up for all that. So I really want to thank you. And I have 2 sort of comments, suggestions, requests. I was really glad to be able to get the Unicron statue online, to order it online. And maybe it would be nice and it wouldn't be late if I could register for BotCon with an online form. Is that a possibility?
I think it can be. The online ordering capability thing was something that we were trying with Unicron statue. Ultimately, I'd like to get all of the extra merchandise that we have worked up on there. The one thing that was that by going through the details of programming it is that since we didn't know what the shipping costs were going to be on the statue, with all the variations that it's going to be, once we determine that, we'll be able to, I think, incorporate other things. It may actually be separate ordering systems that we'll have set up, but I think that is probably a possibility now.
That would be great, and I definitely would get mine in immediately in that case. The second thing is, we have a lot of people who come here with their mothers and fathers and, you know, etc., spouses. And for some reason, I end up talking with lots of them at every convention. And one of the requests I keep hearing over and over again is it would be really nice if they had some place where they could go and sit and rest and be able to buy concessions without having a pass. And that type of thing, you know, even if it's just some sort of lounge waiting area type thing for them. Because I know, especially since we keep getting a younger and younger audience that, you know, can't come without their parents. If it's possible to have something for them, that would be good.
It's a good question. We were going to have a toddler room with coloring pages and stuff of all the black and white line artwork and stuff. But we were afraid that collectors would go in and steal them from the kids. And number 2, there's also legal liabilities for that because we would not be responsible for watching people's children. And you know, I've seen some events where little kids just walk around and parents are like on the other side of the room, and that's not good either. So there's got to be a compromise. And also space. We need a room.
I mean, if they're willing to.
Yeah. I mean,
assume that risk.
Yeah, you'd have to assume that risk. We'd have to have it posted, or there's got to be some legal something or other that protects us and such. But I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, I agree with you. As a father of 1.6 or 1.7 kids, which, because she's pregnant still, so I'm not really there yet. But, that's what we're going to hear when it's like, no, water broke, let's go. So, again, it's the pregnancy, water breaks.
Craig alert.
Yes. As for that, yeah, I mean, that's a great idea because I think next year, me personally, I'm going to run into that problem. So. It's good. Good question. Good comment.
I know I've been talking to people that live in my hometown about BotCon, and one of the complaints or comments I've had from some of them who don't come is because it's always around the same time, and they have other things planned that they can't get out of around this time. And I was wondering if there was any way that sometime in the future we could have maybe rotating dates or something like that. Maybe like earlier in the month or stuff like that.
Can't do June because kids are still in school. Can't do the end of August because most of the crowd here are college students or something like that, so they're always there. 4th of July is a no-go. San Diego Comic-Con is a no-go, and Wizard World Chicago is a no-go. So your dates are now dwindled to like 2 weekends, and we kind of fluctuate back and forth between the dates. So, you can go to Europe. November 3rd, be there.
Yeah, over here.
I just wanted to quickly say, first, I spoke to Karl myself earlier, but I want to thank the 3 of you and all the other staff here for an absolutely wonderful time. I mean, I've travelled literally halfway around the world for this. I've been saving for 3 years. I can't make it to next year's because I'm going to need this long just to get the money again to get back here. But all your work and everything is very, very much appreciated. Second thing I wanted to say, there's something perverse about CatScan being medic and having 2 gigantic knives. Just down and hack the limbs off. And the third thing I was going to say is, can we please have Seafood Lewis at every single convention? Because that was delicious.
Seafood Lewis is like an honorary BotCon exclusive every time.
Thank you very much.
Quadro repay!
CatScan is...
Yeah, that was the kind of quirky thing about that mold. You really couldn't rip the swords out. They're scalpels, come on. They can come in and
I love it.
I wish I could remember actually some of the earlier personality traits of CatScan instead of what he evolved into, but I'm way too tired to think about it at the moment. But he was supposed to, let's see here. The initial concept of CatScan was he was supposed to have been we kept part of it, but he was supposed to have been a deceased colleague that was murdered by Cryotech in front of ApeLink, and ApeLink downloaded his consciousness spark into this little doodad thing he's got. And he's just, it's kind of sick. It's like, I got this prison on me. It's my buddy. Yeah. But basically, they needed a tech for Fractal. And essentially what happens, without giving anything too much away, he accessed his buddy, put it in there, and his buddy was a pacifist. His buddy would have been ticked, putting it in his body, saying, "What'd you do to me?" And then basically, ApeLink tries to say, "Oh, I'll change it, I'm sorry," and he can't. So then all of a sudden you've got this knocking of the heads of 2 guys that were buddies that, one was doing the best what he thought he could do, but there are a lot of issues between them, and then that would have evolved through the storyline. That got really complicated really fast, so he's Data. With swords.
This is a lot to ask, but do you think maybe in the years to come you could try and get people like Judd Nelson or Nimoy and Stan Bush again?
With the exception of Stan Bush, if you're willing to pay $80 or $100 per pre-registration without chopping our heads off, yes. No, one do it, no, not one. 5,000, 6,000 do it. That's how they're expensive people. if you have one guest, I think a lot of people would be pretty ticked off that Judd Nelson came here disinterested, paid a lot of money, and a lot of people didn't get enjoyment out of things like, you know, Peter Spellows joking around or something like that. Those guys, yeah, it's cool, but you know, I'd rather go after Frank Welker yet again.
I can tell it causes problems for you guys when you get 600 applications the day after they're due or something like that, or just people don't pre-register early. So what about maybe offering some kind of little bonus or exclusive to those who do register early on? Like say first however many people or first people before a certain date, you know? I mean the hotel kind of goes to that, but people might register for the hotel but not send in their pre-registration to BotCon, so.
I think you've actually done something like that. It was either 98 or 99, where if you registered by a certain date, you got a discount off on.
Was it known beforehand? Because otherwise, people
yeah, it was on the registration form.
It didn't change it. It didn't change it.
Yeah, I don't. There was still the big rush at the end. I think there might have been a little spike near the end of the deadline, but it wasn't like half of the total. I mean, it might not have been the right incentive, but we tried it anyway.
To me, another exclusive means that it's one less for the normal people.
Well, I wasn't talking about a toy or
well,
something.
Yeah,
maybe a print or
a print or something, right?
I'm sorry, it's me again, but I'm here from California, and I think it's great to be able to come out and say, you know, this part of the East, as far as East I've ever been. But the first thing I wanted to ask, or not ask a question, but just comment about was the hotels. You also had on your website just various hotels that you also had blocked rooms for, which was great. Could it be a possibility that you, in those rooms that you have blocked at other hotels nearby, do the toy exclusive? That might cut down on the rush for the O'Hare. I don't know if you can. It was just in my mind. I was thinking about that too.
I mean, yeah, you can, but it's kind of like a weird thing. It's a hypocritical thing on our end in the sense of.
Just if the holiday filled up.
Yeah, that's a tough question because, you know, the whole point of hotel exclusive, you want it limited. You still want to have some exclusivity out of it. And if you start spreading it to the other 4 or 5 hotels, we're going to end up making 10,000 of them, which is like, I got to box 10,000 toys, man.
Right. No, you're right. That's a good point. I didn't think about that from that point of view. The other thing was that as a parent, I appreciate what I read on your website about your philosophy that you like to keep this for kids as much as you can and keep it affordable for kids too. Because once you start going with these more expensive type exclusives, then kids are kind of excluded unless the parent can, you know, fork up the money. But the other idea of, you know, having the parents be able to go to a room with and let their kid just, you know, go amongst whatever in the dealer rooms. I don't think I have California paranoia or anything, but as a parent, I just don't know how you could get to the liability issues with that.
No, the point would be that the parent stays with the kid, sitting in a chair, not like abandon the kid and go.
Right,
No.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To let them be someplace else and their kid be in
Well,
there.
again,
would
what's
be
going to happen? I
better.
can tell you exactly what's going to happen, and I agree because you know we're on the same wavelength. Some parent is going to, you know, their kid's going to stub their toe or roll over a toy part or whatever. They're going to get ticked and they're going to point their fingers at someone because he or she, you know, wasn't parenting, you know, supervising, and there's nothing that annoys me more than parents who aren't responsible for their children.
Right.
So
that could open up. Personally, I didn't have a problem with, you know, registering myself and just being a part of it too because it's a family thing. So thanks again for those things, and I appreciate all your work.
Thank you.
Doesn't Karl have anything to say?
I'm quiet. No.
See, Karl, now that's why everybody thinks you always talk like this, because you're trying to be good.
Knock it off.
Last night you're in the hotel room, you're saying, why does everybody always think that I talk solo? I don't talk solo! Why don't you say something like that here? Show some livelihood.
should see me teach. I'm a pretty demonstrative teacher. You should see me teach, that's all I'll say.
Next year, Carl's going to be running a panel for how to play Instacallism music. Yeah, there you go. We'll take a couple more questions, then we're going to announce the art contest winners, and then we'll try to wrap it up so people have some more time to buy in before we close the
So one thing, I will tell you this.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
See?
Well, I guess I didn't tell you this. One thing I was planning for this year, I just didn't have time to get it worked up for the dinner. You know, at some point, I want to share my talent with you folks at the dinner sometime. You know, play for maybe 20, 25 minutes.
Explain what your
I play saxophone. Hey, I play saxophone. I play classical saxophone. And, you know, I've gotten two degrees from Indiana University in Bloomington, saxophone performance. Who was that? Where? Outstanding. No, I've gotten 2 performance degrees from IU, and, you know, it's something I wanted to do for a couple of years, but I just haven't, you know, I've been a little out of practice by the time the show comes along. So at some point, I'd like to maybe play a little whatnot for the dinner so people are just, I mean, again, that's something you want to do.
Karl Hartman plays the hits.
No music. Absolutely not.
Hi, Mike.
Hi,
Hi, Mike.
Hi,
Mike.
Hello. For your registration, would you think maybe that if you spaced it just for a certain amount of months, it would be a lot easier, possibly, instead of starting it so late into the year?
What do you mean start late in the year? You mean like December or November?
Yeah.
We could start tomorrow, people would still register in July. I mean, it's a fact.
A cutoff date.
Well,
I'd say give us just a window to pre-register.
Well,
I'd say 5 months.
in a way we do that. It's hard to do a predetermined amount of time that we're going to have registration, like only 5 months, because, I mean, we'll put it up as soon as we have enough information that we can determine costs and get it set good enough to go. And then typically you'll know that it's going to end like 2 months before the show anyway, but I mean, we'll get stuff up as early as we can, so you can count on that. You finally have the microphone.
Yes, finally. Okay.
More just a curiosity thing. On the pre-registration thing, how much do you think of that last minute, that whole rush at the end was because you finally had like the ad in #1 Dreamwave? And how much do you attribute that to the boom?
Nah.
None at all?
Some, but I mean, I think it's more of a popularity of the brand and more people knowing about BotCon. I mean, it's only 300 more people.
Yeah, not too good.
250, sorry. It was only 250 more people. I mean,
I think there was not even really a spike, but there was a bump in the line when the first issue came out.
That's actually a little disturbing.
But I think still it's
people don't want to travel.
It's also human nature to procrastinate. So everybody waits to the end. It's just this year, even though all the people that knew about it through the comic, there's that many more waited until the end.
One little suggestion, I guess it's probably out, but if you can get Yanniger to do something art-wise, maybe he'll actually have the time if he has a year to get one out. I'd like to see Yanniger do something for BotCon. Where you're giving me that look like, what is it? No, there's not a chance in hell.
No. You just might see some other comic book artists.
Stop fidgeting.
Next year.
Stop fidgeting.
Don Perlin.
Yeah, we're not taking suggestions.
Keen. Dallas.
Frank Springer.
Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Dave Dorman.
We're going to do one more question?
Yeah, one more.
I think he's right there.
This is your last question.
Okay, with Carl's mention of his saxophone playing, reminded me from other convention genres I've been to, and we always bring very talented actors to the convention. Maybe a possibility of like a Saturday night cabaret featuring some of the guests if they're willing.
It's a good comment. We were thinking about that for a couple years ago because Doctor Who conventions do that sort of thing because they have the voice actors come up and they have alternate talents. But unfortunately, you know, I'm afraid that they're going to give us these talents that are really nasty or something. That would be one, or Dick Odier doing some weird thing. It's just, I mean, it's a great idea, but I mean, that would definitely be a Saturday night thing. But again, it kind of depends on the voice act. Like this year would have been perfect because a lot of the voice actors' agents didn't get involved with negotiating fees. If you actually jammed that on there, the fees would have been higher, you would have had less people, and it was getting weird. This year would have been perfect. Who knows? It's a good comment.
Okay, for the winners of the art contest, I'm just going to announce the winners, but the top 3 will be on the website. 2D black and white.
Oh, and then we'll send the prize.
And we'll send the prizes out, unless...
If you were not a pre-registrant, be sure to come back up and let us know so we might get your address.
The winner for 2D black and white, Crisis, Jake Eisenberg. 2D color, Starscream's Coronation by Rose Tursi. 3D was Dark Awakening by Tom Myler. Diorama, Taking Out the Trash by Tony Gray. Computer Assisted Still, Soundwave by Greg Burkett. Costume, and I'm glad this was the case because it was a little rough last year. RC by Tracy Dietrich. Audiovisual Steelskin commercial by John Spangler. And computer assisted animation music videos by Trent Troop.
As a final thought, we'd just like to thank a number of people that have helped make the entire year possible, easier, offering assistance, support, product and merchandise. Hasbro Toy Group, Rhino Home Video, Fun for All, 88 Miles Per Hour Studios, Sunscript Studios out of Canada for the web episode. I'd like to thank the family of John and Carl. I'd like to thank my family, all of our friends that have helped pack toys, move things, funnel lines, do the autograph sessions, that entire thing. They're taking time out of their schedule and their lives, sometimes with no vacation pay and all that stuff, to be here to help us do this show every year. And I think it's very important for everyone every year to always give them that thank you and that round of applause that they so barring that.
You've got 45 more minutes to buy toys.
See you next year in Chicago.